Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a video for you here today from Alpha Central about a woman who divorced her husband to start making spicy content on the internet. And we all know what happens next, but that doesn't make it any less hilarious. Now, today's video was suggested to me by Maverick Man 101. I'm going to leave both of their channels linked in the pinned comment, so make sure you go and check them out. Don't forget to leave your own comments, and let's jump right into the video.
I'm a single mom of a 2.5-year-old. I've been split up from my ex for about 10 months now. I still get hit hard sometimes with the grief and the loneliness of it all. Like, I took him to the park and we were playing alone for a long time, and he was saying cute things, funny things, and I was texting my mom and my sister and, you know, telling them what he said. And then another family comes, and it's a mom, a dad, and a son his age, and they're all three playing together.
Why is it that mothers who divorce their husbands, break up their families, and make their children's lives harder think that they're entitled to sympathy over the mess that they made? It makes absolutely no sense.
And the kid says something funny, and they both laugh and look at each other and like talk about it. And I literally had to leave the park because I started sobbing, because I grieve that life.
Funny how the tears show up after the damage is done. Should have shown that energy when there was still something left to save.
If you've gone through a divorce, I just need to know, does it get easier? Does it get easier being without your kids? Because all I can do every time is cry.
Whenever single mothers post these videos of them crying about how they miss their kids, you know, it's literally telling everyone that they don't want their kids spending time with their father. It's pretty disgusting.
No matter what I do, I always end up crying the whole time. Please tell me it gets better, because I can't do this.
I'm pretty sure you wouldn't like a truthful answer to that question.
These women legitimately think that posting videos of them looking miserable and begging for pity is going to magically get them a date with their quote-unquote soulmate.
Why the do I have to go through this? And he's just fine. Like, that's not fair. He gets to go about his life, have his home, have his cars, have his financial stability, and I'm over here struggling.
It's obvious who broke up with who in this scenario, and she's not crying over him breaking up with her. She's upset that he ended her obvious retirement plan.
Okay, the kids left to go with their dad. And the minute you get them in the car, this is divorce co-parenting for you. The minute you get them in their dad's car and you're like, you got this, you got that, you got this, you got that. Don't forget your stuff for soccer tomorrow. The shin guards are in here. The water bottle's here. And you come in the house and you shut the door behind you, and it's like, there's no noise. There's just stuff left out from them. And it's depressing. So you have to smack yourself in the face a little bit and be like, okay, now, what do you want to do? What do you want to do today besides miss your kids?
It's rather ironic how these women divorced their husbands because they were unhappy, only to turn around and complain about how unhappy they are after the divorce.
I just
didn't get that tingle.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
no tingle. All right. Well, let's walk it on back. We did narrow it down. Okay. Let's talk to this real one. Why'd you just break your heart?
This was a very tough one. But yeah, a combination, I think. I don't think the chemistry was there fully to warrant this, and it's not fair for you to do that. And then also, like, not having a relationship with your son is a bit of a flag, I think, because that's something that I don't know if I can wrap my head around. No,
Well,
I'm
we
not
do-
judging or anything.
Oh,
but
I
just,
understand.
you know,
No, we
just saying.
do stay in contact, and I'm just not, fully in his life.
So we know that this woman divorced her husband and her kids haven't talked to her since, which pretty much tells this man everything he needs to know.
That's why
Absolutely
lesbian
not.
relationships don't last. Well, it is
That's
why.
gonna get clipped.
Well, it is why. It is why, because about 75% of divorces are initiated by women. And the simplest explanation for that is that on average, the most unhappy person in the relationship is going to be the woman. Well, why? Well, because on average, she has higher levels of negative emotion. That doesn't necessarily mean that negative emotion doesn't reflect problems in the relationship.
Yeah.
But she's going to be more sensitive to that. Well, so if you put two women together, well, what do you think happens?
We're living in a time where women, especially in the West, are miserable to a profound degree, and they think things like marriage will fix it, which is just an entirely insane and absurd idea to assume.
Just getting ready has been so weird. I woke up this morning and I felt a bit sad. I'm excited. I love weddings, but it does fill you with a certain sadness too.
This is the type of woman who will tell you that she doesn't regret getting a divorce, but it gets triggered by, weddings, happy families, and that sort of thing.
Like, I do wish I'd never met him. I do wish that I did get it right the first time and I wouldn't be coming to a wedding alone. I mean, it's my friend's wedding. I'm going to have a good time. And of course, alhamdulillah, I'm happy. I'm content. I have got a second chance at life and a second chance at love. I know how blessed I am, but it doesn't mean I can't hold space for this part of me too. There is a sadness, and that part deserves to be seen as well.
Women like this will always tell everyone that she's so happy and she's so lucky, and you can tell on her face that she is completely miserable. She knows she screwed up, but she is too stubborn to admit it.
If we can go back, and if I were able somehow to insulate you with a pro-marriage, pro-relationship community, do you think you still would have actually gone through a divorce?
Not at that time.
Damn.
Okay.
I don't know what would have happened.
Damn.
Oh, I've never said this, but I wanted deniability. The truth about the matter is that if I had different people in my ear at that time, I would not have made that decision. No.
Wow.
Modern women will talk about how their ex-husbands are controlling and manipulative, but she apparently gave up that control to her family and friends who convinced her to divorce.
Divorce is really hard. I thought I could talk about this. I didn't realize how raw it was. And I did not expect having a New York City office that I'm commuting into to stir up all of these feelings. I thought I was so past this. I moved out 2 years ago.
If she's commuting to New York for her job, then she's probably paying a lot of money for transportation. If that's the case, she's crying because she has to spend her own money for once.
I'm not. I had a whole wall in our house of family portraits. And not in a corny, horrible way, in a cool way. I had great pictures. And, I only kept the ones of my son. Right? And this is one of them. And it's, let me give you a better version.
What's interesting is how this photo features her almost completely centered in the shot, and her son is almost completely out of the picture, and she's acting like this is a cool photo.
My son, when he was 8, probably, and we were decorating for Christmas. And I remember how lonely I would feel every Christmas. But then I look at this picture. I'm like, oh, that was our mirror. And I remember when we bought it.
It's absolutely astonishing how these women will divorce their husbands, break up their families, alienate their children, and then they will act like they are the victims who are in need of sympathy. It's absolutely crazy.
I've been in situations where women are I've had a cousin who's been married 3 times, but told me to leave mine plenty of times for small things. But she's on her 3rd marriage and 3rd baby daddy. So it's just yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if you're a woman, definitely keep it to yourself because other women don't like to see you happy. You know, your man will mess up one time and they'll be like, oh my God, I would never put up with that.
Everybody knows that misery loves company, and there is nothing more miserable than the modern Western woman. And they have no problem destroying your personal life if it makes you miserable.
Just dropped my kids off to my ex-husband. He's literally the biggest asshole. Like, the fact that he still has friends, or the people that we were friends with are still in his life, blows my mind, because I'm like, how could you guys be friends with someone who's literally such an asshole? And my kids are crying. I like cannot wait until they get to an age where they can like decide who they want to be around or not be around. I don't know what his deal is right now.
His deal most likely has to do with you divorcing him and constantly trying to smear his character on TikTok so that you can get online sympathy.
He's just been like literally the biggest a-hole to me. He owes me a bunch of money from like half of like activities and school stuff, and so I don't know if that's what his deal is. I'm always like, bro, your alimony ends in a couple months, like get over it. Like, I don't know what your problem is. But I just definitely not what I saw on my bingo card. My divorce bingo card was not being able to co-parent with my ex-husband.
Apparently her definition of co-parenting is him paying her money and she puts him on blast if he does something that she doesn't like, and yet she's somehow the victim.
You want to know why divorce rates are over 50%? It's because women nowadays literally think like Here's what I mean. If a guy takes you to a dinner and he spends $50 on you, if he buys you a bag, if he takes you on a vacation, if he pays for a ticket to a concert, if he does something, your mind goes, well, then I guess I'll sleep with him.
That's not totally accurate. The modern woman does see dating as transactional, but she also feels like she's under no obligation to give this man bedroom fun. Him buying her things is just part of the quote-unquote bare minimum.
So he buys me more. How much can I get a guy to buy me or pay for if I sleep with him? That is bullshit. That is transactional. That is not love. That is not going to build a family. And that's why most women are in miserable relationships, because men were taught that I guess this is how women are, and they tolerate it and they pay for it. And then these women are like, look at how much I get if I just sleep with a guy. Stop being a stop paying for, and maybe then we won't have a 50+% divorce rate.
Unfortunately, there is more to it than just that. By the time modern women are ready to get married, they have accumulated so much damage that they are incapable of being loving or respectful. So even if we get rid of the transactional mindset, divorces will still continue to skyrocket.
Even though I don't want to be with him anymore, there is a part of me that wants him to still want to be with me. And when I kind of think about like what gets me upset, or why am I so sad about certain things, you know, of him wanting to also go through with the divorce, you know.
This woman's mindset is incredibly selfish. She broke this man's heart, she betrayed his trust and forced him to start his life over, and all she can think about is how mad she is that he doesn't miss her.
If I don't want to be with him, my problem is not that I don't value myself, or I don't have self-love. I think if I didn't, I would continue to be in this relationship. And I feel like this found awareness of myself and the self-love has brought me to this point of wanting to get the divorce and move on and find someone or many someones that fulfill me, more.
Sound like that man about to be free, and you can go out to the streets and find those many someones you want to find.
That's an impressively large word salad to just say that she screwed up and has zero self-worth.
Go for the boring guy? Let me explain. Hey, I'm Amanda. I'm your cautionary tale. Follow me for more single mom advice. I've been through it all and trying to help you avoid the same mistakes that I made. So at a therapy session, my therapist said, you need to go for the boring guy. What do you mean? Like, I want adventure, I want excitement. I just got out of this terrible toxic relationship. She's like, no. She goes, you're used to toxic relationships. That's what you know. You have to retrain your brain.
This is terrible advice. This therapist is pretty much saying to find a boring guy to quote-unquote fix her brain, which is just an overpriced way of excusing her behavior and forcing other people to deal with her baggage.
That's actually not the kind of guy you want. You're gonna think this guy is boring, but he's not really. You think you want the guy that whisks you off to Hawaii or Vegas. It's helicopter rides, like on The Bachelor. No. You want the guy that sets up your bleacher seat before you arrive at your son's baseball game. You want the guy that, when you sit down after dinner to watch a show, says, whatever you want, babe. You want the guy that when you call him in the middle of the day and he's busy, he still picks up the phone and says, you okay? Everything okay?
Those are the same types of men that modern women grow to resent, and the very reason why she grows to resent him is because he is boring, in her opinion.
I feel like he has moved on, and he is healed and moved on and doesn't care about me, which I don't want him to come back into my life, but it still just sucks. I am honestly really sad right now, if you can tell. That's like the weirdest thing about grief is like, didn't cry for 2 days, was good for 2 days, and now I'm by myself, and it's just like the hurricane, like it's here again, you know? It's, the tsunami is back. Like, it's just so hard, and like I'm frustrated because I, got, my whole world got disheveled, and I feel like he has moved on and he is healed.
This is kind of disturbing. She broke up with this guy and she's crying that she didn't hurt him enough. She was hoping that he would be crying over her, but instead he just moved on, and she can't stand that whatsoever.
Y'all can say what y'all want. I'm telling you, single moms have it the worst. Single moms have it the freaking worst. When it comes to taking care of your kid and making sure they good, you are the first point of contact. Everything relies on you. If you get upset, oh, don't be so upset at your kids. Why?
Unless it's under very specific circumstances, single mothers put themselves into their own situation, and then they want to blame the world around them because they don't give her enough sympathy. And those very specific situations, by the way, every single mother seems to think that she's the exception to the rule, when they're not.
Everybody want to come at your throat about how you treat your kids when you upset, but you got to deal with everything. You have to be the person that they have to rely on when they mess up.
Ma'am, you're mad that your kids depend on you? What did you think being a mom meant? Optional parenting?
If you don't know, I left my husband a year ago, and I've been wanting to come on here and give a life update of a year from now and what my life looks like. And I've been hoping that I would be able to come on here and tell you guys that life is just great.
It's funny how modern women, divorced, by the way, will go online and give everybody a life update that nobody asked for, and the update is typically, I'm miserable, but it's not my fault.
But it's not. It's still really hard. I wanted to have my more together. I know that this isn't the truth, but I just feel like I'm failing so much as a mom. I know that that's not the truth, you know? But life is so f***ing hard. I just got to spend 11.5 hours with my baby, and it was just the most sweetest time. I hate that I feel this way, but I miss my mom so much. I miss my baby. Life is not where I want it to be a year later.
If she spent 11 hours with her baby, then she needs to give more details on her custody agreement. She's leaving out something big here.
Thought today for a split second, and I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, what the is wrong with you? I thought, I should have just stayed. I should have stayed. It wasn't that bad. Like, you made it 23 years. You made 26 years total. Your kids are like college and one's almost out of high school. Like, you made it. You made it. Like, it didn't matter at this point. They can do their own separate life and all that. You made it to the point where you guys were making so much money and you had big houses and you could do whatever you want and you could.
And she threw it all away on a gamble that she would be getting a jackpot in the divorce proceedings. But men are getting wise to this scam, so she didn't get nearly as much as she had hoped for.
Relax. And I literally just called my friend. I was like freaking out because like I'm the biggest person that keeps me back. Like, I'm terrified. I don't have 401k. My counsel did not have my back. I was so traumatized when I got out and then terrorized for the next year that I couldn't even think straight to help the people that wanted to help me. And the people I entrusted to help me didn't help me.
It's absolutely shameful how this woman uses the word traumatized. It's women like this who have rendered that word completely meaningless for the people who legitimately need help.
And there's just timelines that you can't stop. And so it is what it is. And, you know, I'm 47 years old. And it's not like I'm 25. I'm healthy, kinda. I have an autoimmune disease, which means it's life-threatening for the rest of my life. You know, things can change. But it's not like I'm an invalid and can't do anything for myself. But it is terrifying. Like, I could have stayed. I'm so mad that I think this way. I could have stayed. My life would have been so much easier. I could have just gone and done whatever I wanted.
So it's clearly obvious that her husband was a good man who took care of her. She just grew resentful of him for reasons that were most likely insanely petty.
Please, somebody help me. I don't know what to do. I'm a single mom doing her very best. Oh my God, I'm 655 days sober. I had to give my daughter up to her dad because I was so poor, so chronically poor. I quit OF in November because that does not align with me and it does not let me have the dignity that I deserve.
The second you start doing OF is the very second you sign away your dignity, and crying on TikTok isn't going to help at all either.
I've been cleaning houses freelance for the last couple weeks to make money. My car was impounded by the police yesterday. So you know there's a ton of other errands you have to do to take care of everything before you can get the vehicle, which if it's there just a couple more days, it'll be over $1,000 that I owe. That doesn't include the fees to the police. And then just now, my ex-husband's lawyer just called saying that there's a hearing for custody of my daughter. And I don't know what any of it means. Please, someone help me.
Her daughter is in the best possible place right now. It's unacceptable for a child to be raised by a mother who does OF. She brought it all on herself, and she is begging someone else to save her from the hell that she created for herself. But anyway, guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Drop a comment, and I will see you all in the next one. Make sure you take care of yourselves. Peace.